Hey guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with my September wrap-up and my October TBR. So I had a pretty decent reading month. As you guys have seen, I have done 2 vlogs this month, which were really fun. And let's just get in with my September wrap-up. So I didn't really know how to count these, but I work at a bookstore, so all of like the bookish events I know about now, at least for the most part. So there is Batman Day. So we celebrate Batman Day with giving out these free issues of Batman and Harley Quinn. So it's Harley Quinn taking over Batman Day, which was pretty funny. So I don't know if you guys, will be in focus, but it's got Harley Quinn posted over Batman. And I don't really know how to do these because these are free comics and they're really short and thin. They're like the normal ones that you pay like $3.99 for. But this one was focusing around Batman's story, and there was a little bit of Harley Quinn in the beginning and a little bit at the end. And it was Batman taking on Bane, or getting ready to take on Bane, and Harley Quinn kind of like jumping in and saying like it should be like celebrate me instead of Batman. So that was the first one. And then the second one was about Harley Quinn and the Joker, and Harley Quinn was saying like get away from me, like I already tried this with you, and like I actually really like Harley Quinn a lot better in this one than I did when I was reading her, because she like kind of stood up for herself, and I kind of like Joker pursuing Harley instead of Harley falling over the Joker. And Harley Quinn's like, what the shit is wrong with you? And I just liked her attitude in this. So that like gives me hope that I might actually really like Harley Quinn, just not the way that I was reading her before. So it might just be like an author thing, how they wrote Harley Quinn in the past one. But I don't really know how to rate these because they're so thin, and I mean they're like babies. So I really like the Harley Quinn one. The Batman one was kind of confusing because I don't know anything about Batman, to be honest. So I didn't know that there was like several different Robins all at once and they all knew each other, and that was what was going on in this book. So I didn't love this one, but I actually really liked the Harley Quinn one. So those are sort of my first 2 that I read. If I have any comic book lovers who read these, do you guys count these in your monthly wrap-ups? Do you count them on Goodreads? I mean, technically I read these this month, but they're so thin that it's kind of like took me like 5 minutes to read it. So let me know down below. And I'm kind of working backwards this month, which I read Garden Spells. So Garden Spells is one of my all-time favorite books. I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. I will be having a in-depth review on this book coming up, I believe, after this video posts. But this book is about 2 sisters who, if you've seen Practical Magic, the storyline is very similar to this. So 2 sisters who have this magical power. It's a magical realism story, but they have this like witchy magical power, and the house has magical realism in it in the garden. So she takes food from the garden and she is able to use them and cook them in a way to influence people and how they think and how they are portrayed. So she does catering, and so that's one of the sisters, and the other sister also has like a magical power thing, and there is abusive relationship in this, and there is like family ties and becoming to accept yourself. I really liked this book. It's a 5 out of 5 star read for me. Sarah Addison Allen does great magical realism, and I highly recommend checking her out if you haven't already. Sorry if my lighting just changed. It was overcast and raining all day today, and now the sun is coming out, so it's throwing off my lighting. So I had to adjust a few things so I wasn't being so washed out. Next up this month, I picked up LMNOP, and I got recommended this book by a coworker at work, and it was just a fun read that I wanted to pick up for a readathon. I wanted to fast read. It's only like 200 some pages, and it's all made up of letters, which is really fun. So this story revolves around a man who has made up their language, and they've gotten all 26 letters in this sentence, and they think that that is some like great feat. So it's the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That is the one that has all 26 letters in it, and they have erected this statue with all of the letters on it. Well, over time, this statue loses letters, and they have decided that that is a decree from this man that those letters should no longer be in their language. So they have made a decree that if you use this letter or you say this letter in your words, that you get 3 warnings, and after the 3rd warning you are exiled from town. So over time more and more letters fall off, and it makes the writing letters really difficult and really entertaining, and it was just kind of a fun, odd little story. It wasn't too much of a storyline, but it was still a really entertaining read, and it was more so about like corruptness of power, in my opinion, that it showed the light on, and what language really does for us. So it was very entertaining. I did rate this one 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, working backwards for the month, I picked up Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This book is a 5 out of 5 star read for me, just like almost all of Sarah J. Maas, if not all Sarah J. Maas's books. This book is definitely vital to the story. It originally started off as a Kale novella. It is from Kale's perspective, and it parallels to Empire of Storms, I believe. So this, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like or not because I'm not a big fan of Kale. However, this book did so good with the characters. So Nesrin got really fleshed out in this book. Kale got really fleshed out. We got to see so many different sides of Kale in this book. There's great representation for disabled characters. So much was needed in this book that I didn't know that I needed until I read this. It's so good. Sarah J. Maas is epic at endings, and her action scenes are fantastic. I really recommend picking this one up, even if you're not a big fan of Kale. I highly recommend picking up The Assassin's Blade. That is the other novella. That is becoming so much more vital to the story, especially with this one. Not like I've been telling people to read The Assassin's Blade before, at least reading this one. But I mean, it's really important no matter where you're at in the story. I think you really need it, and it's becoming more and more to the forefront. Like, you need to read that to understand fully of the world. So I recommend reading The Assassin's Blade and also this one because this one was really fantastic. So kudos to Sarah J. Maas for doing it yet again. Next up this month, I picked up SpiderMan and Deadpool Volume 2 Side Pieces. This is my favorite duo. I'm going to just throw the gauntlet down and saying this is my favorite duo of all time. Yes, I'm just going to say it. It's of all time. I love them together. They're hilarious. If you guys don't know, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows that by now. But Deadpool does not know that. So Deadpool hates Peter Parker, but he loves Spider-Man. And it is very entertaining, and I absolutely adore it. This, however, was not as good as the first 2 volumes because this is like a filler compilation of issues. This has a throwback of when they first originally met, and that was like pulled out of the vault, and it was all just filler, and it didn't have anything to do with the main storyline, which is going on with those 2, which is a little disappointing because I really want to get back to that, but it was still good because I love these characters. It just wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. So I did rate this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason why it did that well is because I really liked the last 2 issues, and I have a sweet spot for Christmas issues, and it has a Christmas issue in this. So I still recommend checking this one out if you're looking for a fun read, but it's definitely not vital to the rest of the story. Next up, in the month of September, I picked up Harry Potter. I was just kind of feeling it. I was gearing up for the illustrated editions coming up, and me and Trevor listen to them every year. So I was like, well, let's just start them earlier, and we just flew through them because we've been doing puzzles. So we actually went through 1, 2, and 3 all this month, and we're already on the 4th one as well, but we haven't finished that one up, so I'm saving that for next month. But these are my all-time favorite series, 5 out of 5 stars for all of them. I would just like to give a giant shout out. We're listening to the audiobooks. Jim K, I believe, is the narrator for the Audible US version, and he is so fantastic. If you listen to the audiobooks, they do say words differently than like the movies do, and so how I think they're supposed to be said, like they say Accio instead of Accio, things like that. But he is fantastic because he does so many different voices, and he does like the singing with the hat as well, like the like during the sorting ceremonies. all of it is so fantastic. He does it so well. I highly recommend checking out the audiobooks if you haven't checked them out. It's definitely a whole new experience to the Harry Potter world, and I really enjoy it, and I just like multitasking, so I definitely like audiobooks. So go check out Jim Kay's version. He's fantastic. I'm almost positive that's who it is. Now I'm second guessing because I thought Jim Kay was also the illustrator of the illustrator ones. Now I'm double checking here. Jim Dale is the narrator. Jim Dale. Go check out Jim Dale. Next up, I don't have this with me because I just borrowed it, and it is Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. I'll pop a picture up right here. This book I thought was going to be fantastic because I really love the Wonder Woman movie, and I was really excited to see Wonder Woman as like a teenager, and so I really did like that aspect. What I didn't know going into it was that it was going to be set in this day and age. I thought it was going to be set back into the 40s like the movies. So that was a different twist that I wasn't expecting. However, I really enjoyed it. The part that was let down for me was the mascara part. I thought the mascara was going to be the best part of it because I was really interested in the world and the whole like relationships between all of the ladies and stuff, and I really thought I was going to like that part, and that part really fell flat for me. Thankfully, you're not in the mascara too long because Diana does go out on an adventure with the Warbringer, which is all about this girl who brings about the war and about all, like the world ending, and that part was really interesting. I really liked the diversity in this book, and the writing was really awesome by Leigh Bardugo in this, so it's making me want to pick up the rest of her books. I did rate this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars because I really liked the representation in this. I really liked Diana like fitting in the day and age world and kind of seeing her take on it like as an outsider's view. However, I was a little disappointed that the world with the mascara wasn't more fascinating to me, and it didn't feel very unique, especially for a world that has already been built. So it kind of fell a little flat for me, but I still really enjoyed most of it if I wasn't taking it as a Wonder Woman book. So that was my issues with that book. And last but not least, the first one that I picked up this month was Alex and Ada. And yeah, I bought this a while ago and I've been talking about this forever, and I finally picked it up. I don't know what took me so long. I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. This is very entertaining. The artwork is beautiful, and I really enjoyed that. This story is all about, let me show the pictures here. The story is all about a person and his AI Ada in this world. So in this world, AIs are kind of used as pretty much sex toys, but you can either like leave it how you're supposed to use the AI as like personal assistant / sex toy sort of, or you can awaken them and have them have their own thoughts. You can kind of guess where this goes. But I really enjoyed this. The only con with this one is that there wasn't a lot of meat in this story. It's really setting up the whole premise of it and seeing the two different sides between the government and what the people who turn their AIs awaken, their awakened side, like the people who vie for the AIs and the AIs who already are awakened. So it was a lot of setting up. I definitely want to pick up the second one. Unfortunately, my local bookstore doesn't have the second one, so I don't know when I'm going to pick this one up, but I really, really did enjoy this one. So those are all the books that I read for September. I think I did a pretty dang good job. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books, and then 2 small comic things. That's pretty good for me. Like, I usually am lucky if I can hit like 5, so I'm keeping on with this team, and I'm gonna do my October TBR very ambitiously, and we'll see what I'm gonna pick up, because I am doing Dewey's 24-hour readathon, so hopefully that will motivate me to get a lot of reading done during that one. So let's just get on into it. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna pick up all of these, but these are all the options that I want to pick up that I haven't quite narrowed down my options yet. So this one, I'm not sure if I want to pick this one up. This is the second book in the Garden Spells series. This is First Frost. I absolutely adored. I think I liked this book even more than the first book, so I'm excited to maybe pick this one up. I haven't quite decided if I want to do a reread or not, And this isn't exactly spooky, but it's witchery, so I think this counts for like October, like getting in the spooky mood, so I might pick this one up. Next up, I actually haven't read this yet, like ever. And I know this is such a disgrace because my cat's names are Sherlock and Watson, but I love the BBC version. I really love that, and I love the movies, so, and I love the premise of it, and yeah, so I really need to get on this. Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. I had this beautiful edition from Barnes & Noble that Trevor got me a while ago that I haven't picked up yet, so this is on my list of things. Plus, if it's anything like the BBC version / the movies, they like figure out, it's Sherlock Holmes figuring out like murders and stuff, so I thought that's kind of fit for spookiness. I'm not sure if I want to pick it up. Also, I didn't know this, I was flipping through this. There's like illustrations in here, which I was not expecting. Oh yeah, it's totally gotta be a murder, right? So they've got like black and white pictures in this, so that's pretty cool. So I might pick up this one this month. We'll see. Next up I might pick up in the month of October is this Savage Song. And this goes along with like the October spooky vibes. This is about, this is the Monsters of Verity, I think that's how you say it, series. This is the first one in the book. This one is about a world where darkness and sin and violence breeds something dark. And the darkness turns into monsters. So the things that bad things people do turn into physical monsters, and it talks about protecting the innocent and the monsters going after the innocent, and I don't remember too much about this, but this has been on my radar for so long and it sounds so interesting. It's got such good reviews, and I'm excited to pick this one up because this one just sounds like the superhero version. It talks about being a hero or being a villain and your choices and how they act, and it's all about like repercussions and seeing those acts turned into repercussions and turned into physical things that you have to fight, and it just sounds so fantastic. So this is definitely on my radar for October. Next up on my radar for the month of October that I might pick up is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstein. This book has gotten so much praise and so much love, and I'm a huge fan of magical realism, and this sounds like it's chock full of it. So from what I can grasp of the understanding of this book is about a circus that pops up overnight. There's no invitations, no warnings that it's coming to the town. It just pops up and then people show up, and there's more to it than that, but there's a lot of magical realism in that. There is two main characters who kind of have a battle it out type of style, and they're enemies, but they also sound like they fall in love as well, so it's fighting between that battle, and all of it just sounds so fantastic. I love that trope of like wanting to be enemies but lovers and magical realism, and this just sounds like I'm going to love it, and it's definitely on my radar again for October. Next up, since we are already pretty much done with it, we're like on page 500 of it right now. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. We're listening to this in the audiobook. I love being back in this world. Y'all know what Harry Potter is about, so we're working our way through this one as well. Next up, a book that I am definitely picking up because it's been on my radar for a while, and this one is coming out in October, and I want to do a review for you guys before it comes out, and that is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. This is the author of Practical Magic, and like I said with my garden spells, I absolutely love the idea of practical magic, and this is actually the author who wrote it. So this book is all about the prequel to Practical Magic. If you guys don't know, Practical Magic got turned into a movie, but it was a book. It's about two girls who are with their aunts, and with that they're like in their ancestry they get put on a curse that the person who put them on the curse, that their ancestor, has felt such heartbreak in their life that she has cursed her entire bloodline that no one should fall in love, and if they ever fall in love, the person will die, so you never have to feel the heartbreak of them breaking your heart. So it's kind of going along with that, and with the romance and with the magic in this. I'm excited to get to this one because this is a prequel, so it should be of the girls being younger. So I am excited to see if this one is worth a read for you guys or not. And last but not least, what I have been wanting to pick up for a while now that I thought I wanted to save it for October for kind of like a spookier read is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. And this one, it sounds so fantastic. If you guys don't know, I'm not a spooky person. I don't like horror. I don't like anything scary. But I really enjoy the story of Jack the Ripper and I find it very fascinating. So I saw this and I was like, oh my god, I need this. So this is all about a girl who is living the high society life, but in secret she is kind of sneaking down into her uncle, I believe's laboratory and diving into the forensic science and forensic medicine, I think, of the dead bodies that are down there because he is in that world. So she's like going down and kind of looking at it herself at these mangled bodies that they've been finding, and so she goes along with this and it's kind of her figuring out Jack the Ripper and I think falling in love with him from what I've seen in reviews. I'm not really sure. So this sounds fantastic. This is actually in a series and the second one just came out that I think is Killing Dracula or something. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. Hunting Prince Dracula is the second one. So I think that would also be really fun to pick up. So if I like this one, I might go and rent that one as well. So I'm really excited to get to this one too. So I know those are like a crazy ton amount of books, but like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna pick up all of them. That would be great if I could get all of those down. But those are like all on my radar of might being picked up. I also am planning on hopefully finding some audiobooks to listen to because I had just been craving more audiobooks in my life lately ever since restarting the Harry Potter series. So that one I might be adding in some audiobooks for you as well. So let me know down below what you guys think I should pick up in all of those groupings. So that is all for my video. Thank you guys for, sorry my video just cut off, but thank you guys so much for watching and I will talk to you guys in the comments down below. Bye!